Hey guys, Kevin Peters here. I want to give you a tutorial today on everything you need to know to run a Zoom meeting. Now this video is specifically for how to host a meeting, but if you just want to join a meeting and know all the functions, this video will be good for you as well. I want to cover 4 specific things today. 1 are the settings specific to your Zoom account. 2 is scheduling a Zoom meeting and inviting whoever you want to it. 3rd are the functions within your Zoom meeting. And 4th, I want to cover real briefly just some tips on how to make your specific video feed, audio and video, as easy to engage with as possible. Let's get into it. Okay, I will say up front that if you are joining a Zoom meeting from your laptop or desktop computer, you do not need to pre-install any Zoom app on your computer. You'll be prompted to do that when you click on the link to join the meeting. If you are going to join from an iPad or a phone, I would go ahead and download the Zoom app. That'll save you a little bit of trouble. So the first thing you're going to do is go to zoom.us, and I assume that you already have a username and password. So we're going to go ahead and sign in, and there you have it. So I want you just to recognize your profile, make sure everything looks okay here. First thing I want to do is go to settings. And there are a whole bunch of settings here, and a lot of them are optional, but a few of them are important. I think you should at least know about before you host a meeting. These video tabs, I think click those on. Those are optional, but I think it's helpful to have those clicked on. Join before host allows people to actually get into your meeting before you get there. That's sometimes helpful. People want to get in and kind of get used to the interface before the actual meeting starts. I think that's a good one. Require a password, yes. For personal ID meeting, no. I think it is helpful to require a password, and I'll show you why, because you can embed the password into the meeting link for a one-click join that sets a password on it, so only the people that have your link that you send out can join the meeting, and people can't get through it from other random internet trolling and Zoom bombing, as has become popular, and people are fearing that right now. So I think that protects against that. You can mute participants upon entry. Some in-meeting basics, you can allow for chat either to everyone, which is helpful, or private one-on-one chat, so you can send a message to anyone who's in your meeting, which could be a helpful thing at times. You can auto-save the chat if you want to look back at what has been discussed in the chat. Play sound when participants join or leave. I don't like that because that could get bothersome, especially in bigger meetings. File transfers I don't think are necessary, and a potential threat to security and you controlling the meeting. Feedback on Zoom, optional. Add a co-host is helpful to be able to add a co-host if you want somebody else to pay attention to maybe the chat or polling that you might do, which is this next thing. If you want somebody else to kind of help you pay attention to those things while you pay attention to your content, is a good option. Screen sharing, I think yes, screen sharing, that's what I'm doing right now actually, which is really helpful. But who can share? Host only. Don't allow all participants to be able to share whenever they want. That throws up some red flags I don't think I need to go into. A whiteboard is another option you can do when you're sharing your screen. Participants rename themselves, sure. Show participants profile picture, sure, if they're not, if their video is not on. Allowing for a virtual background can be fun. A bunch of email notification options, and that gets to the bottom, and I think that about does it for your specific settings for your Zoom account. Now let's go up to scheduling a meeting. You can go to this from anywhere. Here's your profile, but I want you to look at right here. You can schedule a meeting. And so you go in here and you can name your meeting. We'll do test meeting. You can give it a description, give it a time and a date. Now I don't think this time and date actually does anything to the coding of the meeting. I think that just allows your participants to see what time you plan on being there. You can set your duration, whether it's going to be a recurring meeting. Meeting password, yes, require a password, but remember it's going to be embedded into the link. So they won't have to actually know that or go find that somewhere else. It'll be embedded into your link and able to join before host. Another thing, you can just verify, and then you can save. And once you save, here's the screen you will see, your test meeting. Here's all the details. The invite attendees little section here is what I want you to look at. Join URL. Here is the link that you're going to send out. But an easy way to send that out looks just like this. Copy the invitation right here. The screen's going to come up. These are all the details for your meeting. You can hit copy the invitation. It's going to copy it to your clipboard. And then you can pull up an email, which I've already done, and you can paste that link into this email. And then you can send it to whoever you want. And then once you send that, they have the link to be able to go in and join your meeting. And that should be able to get your meeting started. Now, once you're in the meeting, this is what your meeting is going to look like. So I want to start down here in the left corner. This is where you can mute yourself and turn your microphone back on. You can stop your video at any time. This is where you can also do your virtual background, some other video settings and audio settings that you probably won't have to worry about. This is the security, just to ensure that your security settings are as you want them to be, to not allow screen sharing, but yes, they can chat and rename themselves. You can also lock your meeting after it started if you know everyone is there and you don't want anybody else joining for any reason, if you'd like to do that. I always like to leave my participants slot over here open. This will populate everyone who is in the meeting, will be listed right here, and will show a number of participants. But here you can mute everybody and unmute everybody. There's some controls you have as a host that no one else will have. I also like to leave the chat over here open. Right now it just says to everyone. If there's other people in the meeting, you have the option of going down here and clicking right here where it says everyone and selecting anyone within the group you'd like to send just a private message to. Anyone in the group can do that. You can do that at any time. Just be careful you are sending it to a private person, not to the wrong person, and not to everyone on accident. But I like to have those on just to be able to keep track of things. These are also things maybe a co-host, if you wanted a co-host, could pay attention to for you if you'd like them to do that. Screen share. This is where you can share any presentation that you might have. You can share your desktop, or you can share any web browser that you might have open at the time. Here you can record your session, and these are just reactions you can give, just a little amen to something that somebody might be saying. And here is where you end meeting. If you're the host, you can end the meeting for everyone, or you can just leave and other people can stay in the room. Or if you are not the host, you can just leave the meeting from there. So I think that takes care of all of your in-meeting needs for the time being. And lastly, I want to cover just a few tips on how to make your actual video feed as easy to engage with as possible. We'll start here and implement a couple of very simple things to make your feed look a lot better. First of all, put yourself in the middle of the screen. You are what people are looking at. Second of all, put it at eye level so people don't have to look up your nose. Thirdly, I would say this is very subtle, but look at the camera. This looks different than this. This is, I'm looking at myself on my screen, and this looks like I'm engaging more with you. Last piece is put a little bit of light on your face. Look at the difference between this and this. It's just a lot better, a lot easier to engage with. And make sure you speak loud and clear, and your Zoom meeting should be as successful as possible. I hope this has been helpful. You guys have a really great day.